We will start another subject here in Yapong Pilipinas, which is animal science. So in this video, we will talk about the commonly used terms in animal science, an introduction to anatomy, and an introduction to physiology. So quick lang yung episode na to. Let's go. Hello, if you are new here, I am Josh from Yabong Pilipinas, and my mission here is to democratize access to agricultural education. Ang meaning lamang doon is gagawin natin na mas accessible sa YouTube, sa Facebook, sa social media, yung mga coverage ng licensure exam. So, para pwede nyo nang aralin kahit na hindi kayo like mag-enroll sa mga review centers. Ganun. So, parang, ayun, kaya nga siya democratizing para at least kahit libre lang makakapag-aral kayo at mas magkakaroon kayo ng confidence to take the licensure examination. Ayun. So if you're new here, can you please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell para ma-inform kayo kapag mag-upload ang Yabong Pilipinas. Currently, March 2026, I'm filming this March 2026. Nag-upload ako every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And yeah, my goal here is to cover lahat ng mga major stuff na lumalabas sa licensure examination. So I hope na matapos ko ang mga ganaps until siguro mga June 2026 para at least makapag-review kayo ng mga 6 months pa bago yung next na licensure examination. Anyway, so let us start. If you also want pala na i-share ito sa iyong mga classmates, friends na mag-take din ng licensure examination, just do so. And ayun, para parehas kayong pumasa ng licensure examinations together. Ayun, that's it. Let's start animal science. So animal science is the scientific study of domesticated animals, including their reproduction, anatomy, physiology, genetics, nutrition, and management. So I hope na makover ko lahat ng mga yan. Kasi example, sa amin sa UPLB back then, meron kaming dalawang subjects na animal science. We have agriculture 21, which is on physiology, animal breeding, animal nutrition, and animal and slaughtering and production, and animal production. So, ayun siya. So, ayun yung Agri 21. Sa Agri 22 naman, we have, naka-divide na siya into swine, poultry, dairy, and cattle production. So, ang hope ko is ma-discuss or matackle ko lahat ng mga yon dito sa channel na to. Kasi I'm also using some of the notes that I had from first year. Nakakatuwa nga kasi kapag bumabalik ako ng first year, sobrang sipag ko mag-aral noon. Like, gumagawa ako ng individual notes for every quiz, every topic actually. So, ayun, I'm excited to also share those notes with you through this lectures. So, ayun yung titingnan natin dito sa animal science. Okay, so let us start the animal science lectures here in this channel by looking at the commonly used terms in ANSI. So first, we have parturition. So parturition, ito yung proseso ng panganganak ng mga hayop. So the physiological process of expelling the fetus from the uterus at the end of gestation. So yung panganganak na mismo. So in terms of parturition, meron tayong mga specific terms for different agricultural na mga animals. So we have calving for cattle, farrowing for swine, foaling for horses, kidding for goats, and lambing for sheep. Ayan. Next is yung concept ng conception. So conception naman is the union of the spermatozoon and ovum resulting in fertilization. So conception kapag buntis na or kapag nagbunga na, nag-fertilize na uh, yung sa loob ng female na mother or yung ating dam. Ayun. So, yun yung conception. Ito yung moment na nagtagpo na ang sperm and egg. So, dito nagsisimula yung pagbubuntis ng isang hayop. So we have these two terms. We have the dam, which is the female parent of an offspring. So siya yung nanay. We also have the sire, siya yung male parent of an offspring or yung tatay. Next, we have the concept of fecundity or prolificacy. So this is the reproductive capacity of an animal to produce multiple offspring per reproductive cycle. So, per reproductive cycle. So, ibig sabihin nito, gaano ba kadalas at karami mga anak ang isang hayop? Ang example, yung baboy, mas mataas ang prolificacy niya kasi mas maraming biek ang nare-reproduce niya bawat farrowing or bawat panganganak niya, kumbaga. Ayun. So, mas mataas ang fecundity ng baboy. So we also have the concept of fertility. So fertility is the capability of producing viable gametes capable of successful fertilization. So viable gametes, ibig sabihin, uh, viable sila. Magtutuloy sila, kumbaga, na mag-fertilize. Ganyan. Or buhay talaga. Parang sa seed lang din. Yun. So next, we have gestation. So gestation is the period from conception. Kanina na-discuss natin yung term na conception. Kapag, okay, nag-unite na yung, yung sperm tas yung egg cell. Then yung parturition or yung panganganak na. Ayan. So ito ang haba ng pagbubuntis ng hayop. Gestation, pagbubuntis. So for example, sa tao, we have 9 months. Pero in different species, iba-iba yung gestation period ng mga iyan. So I think I'll also just put in the comment section below yung average na average or yung gestation period ng bawat hayop. Kasi I think isa rin yun sa mga memorize ko during that time. One of the things that I've learned from animal science, I actually did not study that much sa animal science nung nag-take ako ng licensure. Kasi ang balita ko ay random daw ang lumalabas, which is true naman. Kasi even nung nagtuturo na ako ng licensure, parang every year na lang may mga random na mga stuff na mga lumalabas. So, ganon. Parang daw siyang quiz show na mga, ano nga term nila na parang ano nga tawag? Trivia. Parang trivia daw ang ganap sa animal science. Pero I hope na someday mas maging like makatarungan ang mga lumalabas sa sa licensure actually in general. Ganyan. So hindi lang like puro memorization. Ayun. Yeah. So ako, naging strategy ko sa animal science is to just familiarize myself with everything. Unlike ko sinasabi, ang board exam ay palawakan ng alam at hindi siya palaliman ng alam. So ang ginawa ko lang nung time na yun sa animal science, ni-review ko lahat. Hindi ako nag-memorize super ng mga numbers kasi kung may lalabas mang ganun, and may mga lumabas nga, hinulaan ko na lang sila. Yeah. Unfortunately. Ayun. So next we have the concepts of impotency and sterility. So impotency is the inability of a male animal to successfully copulate or to engage in sexual intercourse. Ayun yung meaning ng copulate. So ibig sabihin kapag kunwari masyadong merong mga deformities sa kanyang male reproductive organ, yung mga ganon. So that's impotency. So on the other hand, ang sterility naman, it's the permanent inability to produce viable offspring. So it means patay lahat ng mga sperm cells ng hayop, etc. So ayun yung sterility. So impotency, inability lang to engage in sexual intercourse. So, kaya siguro masyadong maliit yung paa noong biik kaya hindi siya makasampa ganyan sa female biik talaga, hindi biik yung ano ba yung bore, kunwari sobrang liit ng bore, hindi siya makasampa sa female. So ayun. So kaya rin nagkakaroon ng different techniques like artificial insemination, yung mga yan. So next we have puberty. So puberty, parang sa tao rin, the stage at which an animal becomes sexually mature and capable of reproduction. So ito yung pwede na silang magparami. Usually, nakikita ito sa first heat or sa first ovulation. Ayan. So sexually mature. Ayan yung ano ng puberty. We also have transmitting ability. So transmitting ability is the genetic potential of an animal to pass traits to its progeny. Kaya ba niyang maipamana yung mga traits na meron siya? For example, mataas ang kanyang back fat, mga ganun na mga bagay, o kaya yung marbling score, yung mga yan. So those, kung kaya niya ipasa yon, so that's the transmitting ability. So ability ng hayop na ipasa ang traits niya sa kanyang mga anak. So pwedeng maganda, not only the good ones ha, like malaking katawan and yung mataas yung milk yield or milk production, and even yung mga hindi ka nais-nais. Kaya kapag kunwari, uh, anong tawag dito? Ano ba? Ano bang mga hindi ka nais-nais na mga traits? Kapag mababa yung marbling score, mga ganyan, o kaya masyadong, uh, anong tawag dito, mababa yung protein sa ng isang itlog, ganyan, kunwari. Ayun. So, those can be transmit, those can be transmitted sa next, ang tawag doon ay transmitting ability. Ayun. So, if you notice, as we go dito sa mga terms na to, may mga certain terms about production na, about breeding, etc. Ayan. So we have here weaning naman. Ayan. Weaning and weanling. So weaning is the management practice of discontinuing milk feeding and separating the offspring from the dam. Ibig sabihin lang ng weaning, isa-separate mo na yung anak dun sa ina. Ayun lang siya. So yung weanling naman, siya yung anak na isineparate. Ayan. A young animal that has recently been weaned. O yung anak nakakahiwalay lang sa nanay. Okay, so let's jump into some anatomy terms. So anatomy is the study of the form and structural organization of organisms. So anatomy, pag-aaral ng mga parte ng katawan at sa kung paano sila nakaayos. So formation ng mga ganap sa isang hayop or even in plants. So we have external anatomy and we also have internal anatomy. So external anatomy, these are body structures visible outside the organism. Paano natin sila nakikita? So external anatomy, generally in animal science, they have these different functions. Ayan. So I created the mnemonic pads. Ito ay notes ko pa nung undergrad. So yeah. So letter P is for protection or covering. So dito papasok yung mga external anatomies like skin, hair, feathers, horns. So those are some of the parts of the animals na ang role niya or ang function niya is to protect and to cover the animals. Laban sa init, lamig, sugat, at sakit. Letter A naman, so pads, di ba? Letter A is aesthetic. So dito papasok yung comb, bottle, feathers, yung may iba't ibang colors. Yeah, so these are the parts of the body ng ating mga animal species na nakadagdag sa itsura at sa breed characteristics. Ayan, example ito nandito, di ba? Next, digestion. So beak, mouth, muzzle. So these are the parts naman na ginagamit to for food and to start the digestion process. So pad and S is for sensation. So ears, eyes, skin, nostrils para makaramdam, makakita, makarinig, makaamoy at makadama. So ayun yung mga functions ng mga external anatomies. So sa internal anatomy naman, internal organs generally in animals are organized within body cavities. So that function in coordination. So meron tayong tatlong body cavities na i-discuss natin. Ang mnemonic ko dyan is TAP. So we have T for thoracic cavity, which includes the heart and the lungs. So thoracic cavity. The next one is abdominal cavity, which includes the stomach, intestines, liver, and kidneys. So those are abdominal cavity, internal na to, and the pelvic cavity, which includes the reproductive organs. So more of that when we go to the different systems in the body. Yeah. For the different systems, I think I will actually reuse one of my discussions dati on the different parts of the body. I will just, meron akong parang video on that back then. So baka iba yung itsura ko sa video na yan. But I'm gonna reuse that, but I can still do another content on that. Ayun. But just to save time, no? Na at least may mga nailalabas tayo na content na related sa licensure. Kasi ang animal physiology actually, most of it ay from like things that we studied then sa general biology when we were in senior high school. Ganon. So meron akong presentation ng that na ginamit ko sa review ng UPCAT, etc. Ayun. Kaya medyo okay pa ako that. Well, hindi mataas ang grade ko sa physiology pero I enjoyed studying physiology kasi para siyang review ng General Bio 2 yata yun or General Bio 1. Anyway, and now let's go to physiology. For this episode, mag-stick muna tayo sa key concept on physiology pero meron tayong mga deeper discussions on it someday. So physiology naman is the study of the functions of organs in living systems. So kung ang anatomy ay ano ang parts, ang physiology naman ay paano gumagana yung mga parts na iyon. Ayan. So functions of organs in living systems. So one of the things na talagang highly value when it comes to physiology is yung term na homeostasis. It is the maintenance of a stable internal environment sa loob ng katawan despite external changes. So example, yung kakayahan ng katawan, kaya ito yung kakayahan ng katawan ng hayop or ng tao na panatilihing balance ang loob kahit nagbabago yung paligid. Ano yung mga example nito? So example, kapag mainit, pagpapawis or paghingal. So those are some of the things that our body do to maintain homeostasis or to maintain stability within our bodies. Example is kapag nauuhaw, not only tao but even mga hayop, umiinom ng water. Then we also have blood sugar drop, hormonal regulation naman. Ayun. And I think that's it for the introduction to animal science. I am excited to do more contents on animal science. Lalo na yung mga things na alam kong medyo maraming lumalabas doon and such. I'm excited to do contents on breeding, animal breeding, animal nutrition, even ano pa isa? Production actually. Magaganda yung notes ko ng production and I'm proud of that. Like nung ano pa yan. Notes ko siya sa mga discussions nung first year. So, na-excite ako i-share yung mga yun. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you're new here, kindly like, subscribe, and click the notification bell para ma-update kayo whenever I post something. Also, if you want your friends to also pass the licensure exams with you, kindly forward this video to them para sabay kayong pumasa ng licensure examination. And if you have questions, clarifications, etc. that you want to address, again, pwede nyo akong i-correct kung meron akong maling mga sinasabi, etc. You just feel free to correct me, of course, with respect sa comment section. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you very much for listening and see you in the next episode.